If you are like me, you've probably spent months in the trenches of Code Academy, Udemy, or watching coding tutorials on YouTube. You've got the certificates to prove that you completed online courses. But when it's time to sit down to build an app that really solves a problem, you get stuck the moment you encounter a little challenge. You abandon the project and think that you are not good enough to code. What if I tell you that it doesn't have to be that way? You see, the world is changing, and AI is disrupting entry-level roles and low-level technical capabilities. But at the same time, it is creating new opportunities for non-tech persons to succeed. And one of the most remarkable developments in this era is AI code generation, which involves using tools like Cursor or Lovable to instruct AI to create a functional application using natural language like simple English. Now, I know you may be wondering, why do I have to spend 4 years in a university to study computer science or learn coding in the first place if AI can just generate the code? My view is that it is highly valuable to understand the building blocks or what needs to go into the development of web applications. However, the market is saturated with talent and tools, and the main challenge remains deploying them to solve real-life problems. All over the news, we see big tech companies laying off staff while bragging that AI already writes a significant portion of their code. But what they fail to tell you is that the global market is not looking for more machines. It is looking for humans in the loop, people who can steer the ship. Hi, my name is Dixon, the host of Sabi Press, and in this video, I want to share my takes on AI code generation and show you the logic behind the vibe. In case you are seeing me for the first time, the work I do on this channel is simple. I am sharing my experiences to help young Nigerians and Africans access high-value remote work opportunities globally. My goal is to help them earn in foreign currency to outpace local inflation and traditional career paths. So if you like this kind of content, please smash that subscribe button and share this video to someone who needs it the most. Now, you may be asking yourself, why do I need to listen to what this Oyibo Pepe has to say if I can just vibe my way to an app? The truth is that you need a strategy, because without a plan, vibe coding can be a mess. This is why it gets the bad reputation of being too informal and disorganized. At this point, let me quickly say that this video is not about demoing how to use a specific AI tool or which tool is best suited for a specific task. People who are way smarter than I have already documented their experiments on YouTube, so feel free to go check it out. However, do not get stuck in tutorial hell or prompting your way to an unfinished project, which may lead to loss of money. Tools come and go, but what I want to share is timeless. This is why you need to stop acting like a bricklayer and start thinking like an architect. In this AI era, you are not paid to type, you are paid to think. The keyboard is your steering wheel, the AI is the engine, you are the driver. If you do not know where you are going, you quickly run into a ditch. So let me explain what I mean using a real-life example, a real estate management app that allows property owners to manage tenants. Whenever you have an idea bubbling in your mind, do not go to an AI tool to say, build me a real estate app. That is too vague. Instead, use user stories. User stories are simple descriptions of the app's functionality from a user's perspective. They help you to decompose your entire app into functional specifications. So check this out. Instead of saying, build me a real estate app, how about saying, as a property owner, I want to view a list of properties so that I can know their statuses. Another example is, as a tenant, I want to be able to pay my rent online to avoid late charges. The benefits of user stories in the context of vibe coding is that they anchor your project in reality and gives the AI enough context to understand what to build for you. This way, you can avoid unnecessary rework or building something that nobody actually needs. Another benefit I forgot to mention earlier is that user stories help you to focus on one feature at a time. And by doing so, you avoid confusing the AI. Don't worry, they are very simple to write. In case you do not know how to do so, you could use ChatGPT to generate some user stories depending on the complexity of your project. Don't worry, I will leave a prompt in the description to help you out. Another thing you have to do before you start generating code is to have a prototype ready. This is simply a graphical representation of the look and feel of your application. Examples of these are Figma mockups or hand-drawn wireframes. And the benefit of this is that they help you check if your app is actually usable before you start generating code. I do not want to dwell on this very much because prototypes are very simple to create and the learning curve is very low. So you can visit Figma community website to find free templates which you can customize to suit your vibe. Now that you have your user stories and prototype, you are ready to launch your project. But before you do so, you need to treat it as a fitness routine by breaking it down into sprints. And the way you do this is by using the principles of Agile project management. So Agile project management is an iterative or adaptive way of building out a project rather than following a rigid plan. And a sprint is a time box for completing priority tasks. So this time can be 2 weeks typically, but in the context of vibe coding, it can be 1 to 2 days. So how do you apply the principles of Agile project management in your vibe coding experiment? The first thing you need to do is to create a backlog, which is typically a list of the user stories or the features that must be in the app. Secondly, you dedicate a sprint for a particular feature or functionality. And third, you do daily check-ins. By daily check-ins, I mean you ask yourself, what did I do yesterday? What am I doing today? Or what's going to be the blocker today? The benefit of organizing your work this way is that it breaks down the project into small parts and helps you to focus on priority tasks that add real value to the entire project incrementally. As you can see, the traditional way of learning how to code is getting outdated because any determined person can generate code and use AI to learn the programming principles along the way. The world values speed and flexibility, and if you can master vibe coding with the principles I have just explained, this can be your ticket to the global market. But remember, tools come and go. What remain constant are user experience, architecture, and logic. What use are skills if you cannot use them to solve expensive problems? This is why you need to watch this video I made about the Impact Stack Development Framework, which can help you move from ordinary to exceptional.